Maggie, how do you kind of put into words the game that you had today? Do you think you've ever had
Out of
a...
body. It was just out of body today. You know, it's just one of those days where you get high and you're just shooting everything and it's just going in. I might have shot one with my eyes closed today and it would have gone in. It was just one of those days.
And
Did you see this coming? I mean, Coach mentioned you shooting well in practice. Coach mentioned that she knew who you were and she wasn't going to let you alone. And you could do that, but it just looked like no matter what they did, the openings were there for you.
Yeah, like I've said before, it's really hard to guard our team. You know, we have Lex on the wing who can shoot, who can drive. You have Britt who's knocking down shots. She's also getting pull-ups, getting to the basket. You have Brianna Butler, one of the greatest three-point shooters in the country probably, on the wing. So there's so many threats that sometimes I say people kind of forget about me. And I just get left open and I knock down the shots. Or Lex drives, draws 2 or 3, and kicks out. And it just happened to be my day today.
Alexis, you had that first, I think it was an and one in the first half. You showed a lot of emotion. Was there something about this game, maybe it being the first ACC game of the season, that, I mean, I guess it's for all of you guys too, just that, was there more emotion in this game because of that?
I think we were really excited for this game. Our last 2 years since we've been in the ACC, we haven't beat Duke, and our freshman year, we got beat by a lot. And then, last year we lost a close one at Duke by 2. So I think we wanted to really come out and prove that we're a good team and that we can compete with these top-ranked teams. And, when you have Maggie come in and have the day she did, I mean, it's every reason to be excited.
Alexis, I know you guys have been asked the questions this year and even going back to last year too about beating a ranked team. How big is it to kind of get that off your back? And did you think about it?
I mean, it feels great. I'm not even gonna lie. It's probably one of the best feelings, and also the fashion that we did it. We played clean basketball. We had less than double-digit turnovers. We rebounded the ball well. We shared the ball well. I mean, you can't ask for a better win in a better fashion than that.
Going up 17-3 to start the game, you almost feel like you could smell it, right from the start.
We could definitely feel that we were all locked in, and I think once we got locked in from the beginning, we stayed there and we never let up. And this morning we had a team meeting and we talked about the sense of urgency, and I felt like we played with a sense of urgency for 40 minutes.
He was the factor in all, Alexis, the 4 games, 6 days. Coach mentioned he wanted to get you sort of a tournament feel. Obviously, when you're winning and playing well, it's a lot easier to not have a lot of energy, but there seems to be no fatigue factor at all out there.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we do. So, we're young, 4 games in 6 days. It is a lot, but this is why we're here, and this is what everybody lives to play for. These games like this.
And Alexis, at the end of the third quarter, on the last possession, you ended up passing it to Maggie. She ended up making the buzzer beater. But before that, you were saying, Mags, get ready to shoot. Mags, get ready to shoot. What was that all about?
Just to kind of throw the defense off. I mean, she was hot, and if they were going to leave her open, I was going to pass it. So I was telling her to stay ready because it was coming, and I was going to continue to find her.
Maggie, at what point did you realize it was just one of those days and you were just hitting everything you took?
I think probably like the third 3, because I think I've probably made 3. That's probably the most I've ever hit before a game before today. So usually the third one it kind of starts going downhill, but I hit the one after and then the one after. So I was like, all right, today's my day.
Brittany, was this what was about the press that was just so effective today? It seemed like you guys just had them rattled from the start.
Well, when we scouted Duke, we knew that they were a young team, and the pressure that we apply to teams for freshmen and sophomores is a lot to handle. And we knew if we get in their face and we were turning them over, that we would get those steals and we would get those baskets to continue to press them. So, I mean, our press is really in your face, and we're all long and athletic. So if we miss an assignment, I'm pretty sure somebody in the back line is going to come to replace us. And as you see, we back tipping them and we're turning them over, and we're just getting those points. And I mean, we're known for that. So to come out and do that against Duke is great.
You've been here for a lot of those 200 wins for Coach Q. What was that kind of moment like when the fans were holding up the signs and, it was kind of emotional for a minute?
It felt good to know that we, on this team, we're all a part of his history of getting that 200th win, and at the same time, blowing out Duke is another great memory to give him. And I mean, he fights for us just like we fight for him on that court, and we're just happy that we can do that for him and get the 200th win at the Dome for him.
Maggie, Coach spoke about his past couple of years maybe changing the offense a little bit to incorporate more threes, points per possession. It's obviously no secret you guys shoot a lot of threes. I'm just curious, what's it like either in practice or in games when you know you more or less have a free reign to take those shots, obviously and make some of them. Is it just like, Disneyland for you? What's like the coach that says go out there and do stuff like that?
It's definitely very nice and beneficial, but he gives us a lot of confidence because, there's games where we come out and we're 1 for 7, but he's not telling us don't shoot. He's sitting there telling us, keep shooting, find your rhythm, get into it. So I think allowing that gives us a lot of confidence, in practice. We've had some great practices. We get excited for each other in practice. We celebrate our shots in practice just like we do in the games. So it's kind of natural. We kind of prepare for them.
You mentioned the next thing for you was just trying it through with your eyes closed. I'm assuming that didn't happen when you're up by 30, when you're close to, maybe getting that shot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, me and Britt will play around after practice and shoot eyes closed. She's a little bit better than me, though, so I probably should work on that.
There's a lot of talk about how well you shot, and I wonder how much of that was about the open looks, and if so, what do you think was the key to getting those open looks? Was it the turnovers? Was it, certain plays that were designed? Whatever it was, it seemed to work, but what do you think even allowed that to happen?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's mostly our execution, defensively. We're a pretty hard team to get across half court. We press up. We have Corn up top, Lex up top, Britt. We're pretty athletic. We got a lot of steals today, and then steals lead to open shots on the offensive end. And then we have a great point guard in Lex who gets us in our sets. We run them, and we get open shots too. So I think it's just execution.
2 more questions, guys? Or no more questions?
I have one more, yeah. It seemed like, I think it was the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, there was a lot of transition points you guys were working on. And it seemed like you guys moved away from that, maybe more towards 3-point shooting later on. I don't know if you guys saw that, and if so, was that a specific decision you guys made to, hey, we want to move away from the transition points, or was that just something that happened?
I think we really just took what the defense gave us. As the game started to flow, they started to kind of transition back and stop the transition buckets, but they didn't stop the 3-point shooting in transition. So, I think you just take what the defense give you and you flow with the game, and we were able to still get shots.
Thank you, guys.